Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos like this as I do post them. And please also check out the description section below where I often put more information about whatever I am talking about and potentially any changes that I think maybe I should have mentioned in the video but didn't. If you happen to own this speaker or another speaker that you like and you want to talk about it, your amplifier, whatever it might be, please post that in the comments. Let's get started. So this is the GoldenEar technology AMT 3. This is a bookshelf speaker. Now a little bit of the reason why I purchased this speaker is because I was trying to find something a little bit different for music, and I think actually I'm going to unbox while I talk. So I was thinking about finding something that's a little bit kind of different sounding for music, and a speaker that has some kind of a ribbon tweeter. And there was another speaker that I did the review of that I didn't really care for it, and it ended up going back. And normally when I purchase a speaker, what I do is I go online and I look at the specifications, but I also look at the speaker, how it's made. Okay, so like what kind of parts the speaker has, where's the port. And this speaker, let's see what this is first. It looks like we have well, this is the manual, so I think I'm going to open that up and take a look at it. But there's something over here which looks like some type of it looks like a mount. It looks like a keyhole slot mount thing. So actually, I'm going to come back to that when I take off the gloves. I got the gloves on because this has that type of a gloss to it, this speaker. So I don't want to take it out of the box and then start hand printing it. Not a fan of that type of gloss. This I can move over here. I kind of just keep the towel over here for the for the box, because when whatever it is, FedEx, UPS, whoever delivers it, typically along the way it gets dirty. So this is the clean part. So let's see what we have. We got 2 pieces of foam on each side, and speakers in here. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I typically look at the speaker online, and I'm looking at how the speaker's made. Very nice packaging of this speaker. Well, this brand is from, what's his name, Sandy Gross, and he was one of the co-founders of Polk Audio and also Definitive Technology. So there's a lot of the same tech, so to speak, that comes from these definitive speakers in the GoldenEars. If you take a look at some of the GoldenEar towers, they have the built-in sub as well. Kind of similar, kind of like thin type of speaker like this definitive over here. This is the one that has the 10-inch drivers. So it has the 10-inch woofer. It has the 2 10-inch passive radiators, and it has 3 mid-range and 2 tweeters. So with that said, because I have experience with this speaker and the smaller model, an older model, which is the, whatever it's called, the 7006, I believe, which has the 8-inch woofers. With that, what I did was, I, at one time, propped it up with a piece of foam underneath. Now, why am I talking about this? Yeah, this is all gloss and shiny. You never want to touch this with your hands, because then you got to just wipe it down. Even the cleanest of hands will leave a mark. So it looks like, yeah, it feels like those are definitive plugs back here. I could feel it even through the gloves that they feel nice and solid, nice and strong, solid plugs. They don't feel cheap. So these binding posts feel like they're of a very good quality. You know, this speaker feels like it as well. So this speaker, and I think that this just pops up if I remember right. Yeah. So it has the same type of definitive, like, what do they call it, sock or whatever, I think they refer to it as. And this, so this is gonna, where is it? There we go. Just to kind of show the speaker. There's the front. So this speaker has a 7-inch woofer, if I remember right. If I remember correctly, I believe it's a 7-inch. Alright, so it's, you know, it's larger than the normal 5 1/4s that you see all over the place with bookshelf speakers, and it's, you know, larger than a 6 1/2. And what's nice about it though is, in addition, you can see it has that type of a tweeter, a ribbon style tweeter. It looks like it might have, looks like the surround is probably some type of rubber on it, but on each side it has a passive radiator. So there's one here and there's one here, and these passive radiators are 8-inch passive radiators. So you got a 7-inch that's going to be powered by the receiver or your amplifier, and so was the tweeter. So this is a two-way speaker. With a speaker like this, because it has the passive radiators, you're going to want to use a receiver or amplifier that has some really good power. So with something like this, you know, I'm thinking, I mean, at the minimum 120 watts or so, but I'm really, you know, looking at this and thinking 150 watts or so. Okay. Now, just by looking at how it's angled and the positioning of these passive radiators, it's very similar to this, because on the definitive there's one on each side on the bottom. So looking at this, I'm, you know, guessing this is pure speculating, you know, based on everything I know about speakers from, you know, 30-something years. I think that this speaker, because of the passive radiators on the side, it's going to function like these, and it's going to kind of, you know, the bass is going to kind of come out this way. So it's going to kind of like fan out more so on the side. So when you're sitting facing it, right, the bass is going to kind of just like wave out this way. And this speaker, the bass is going to come forward because this is going to get the full range. So this is getting all the frequencies, that's whatever the crossover is set, of course. So whatever the tweeter gets, the tweeter is going to get, and the rest is going to go to this woofer, which is the mid-bass driver. So it's also, you know, so you know, the point is that it's going to get all the frequencies. Now, this woofer has to move in order to move these passive radiators, okay? And just giving a passive radiator a little touch here, I can see that it seems nice and soft and flexible. Yeah, it is. It's very soft. It's a lot softer than a lot of the other passive radiators, and maybe because, what is this? It does feel like maybe it's some type of rubber. Yeah, and that cone is definitely, you know, it's definitely not like a paper woofer. I dread the thought of paper woofers in the year 2021. With that said, I think that this speaker sitting on some type of a table, so if this was put on top of a table, you know, some type of like end tables that might be, you know, like a squarish or circular type of end table, because of how these cones, the passive radiators, are going to move some extra bass, I think that it might sound pretty good. Also, with this speaker being up against the wall, and it looks like that's the keyhole slot thing. Let's see. And before I lose track, yeah, that looks like that. Yeah, that goes right in there. I think that this speaker as well may be sitting on the very top of a bookshelf, so like 5 feet up, 6 feet up, whatever the top shelf of the bookshelf is, sitting up there and being able to use the walls, you know, to help to reinforce the bass. I think it might sound great. I typically like a speaker that's a three-way when possible, but you know, this is a bookshelf, so it's a little harder to get three ways with a bookshelf speaker. Well, let's see, what are the specifications? So the specifications of this, it's 14 inches high, and it's 9 inches wide, and it's 10 inches, 11 inches deep. Thankfully the print is nice and large. It's 20 pounds, and the frequency response is 36 hertz in the bass to 35 kilohertz in the treble. So that was also my logic with this speaker, was that it's rated so low in the bass. Anytime I do read the specifications from a manufacturer, I typically subtract like 12 or 13 from it. And I feel like that's the bass that's probably going to be the bass that's going to perform, where it's like functional bass. So in this case, it says it's down to 36 hertz. You know, we might be looking at, you know, just some quick math here, you know, 48, 50 hertz. So at least if this speaker is able to get down to like 48, 50 hertz, you know, that should cover the range of the kick drums. And, you know, if you watch my videos, I listen to, you know, rock music, metal, classic rock. So that's typically the music that I'm listening to. And with a speaker, I want the speaker to really cover that range. I don't really like when a speaker starts to like crash around 70 hertz. So 70 hertz is here, and then it just starts to, you know, quickly dive, you know, nosedive. So with that said, you know, that's the logic for me purchasing this speaker. The sensitivity is also rated at 90 decibels, and it's a 8-ohm speaker. So they call the woofer, it's a 7-inch cast basket mid-bass driver. And then the, where are those accursed glasses? Okay, all better. And then it says it has one HFVR, high velocity folded ribbon, high frequency radiator. Okay, so that's what this tweeter is. And then it says it has two 8-inch side-mounted planar low-frequency radiators. And the recommended amplification is 10 to 250 watts a channel. So I'm gonna be testing these out on the. Now I'm gonna go see what happens. I put these on to read, and then I get dizzy when I look around with them, and they have to come off. I'm gonna be testing this out on the Onkyo RZ8040. I'm going to be testing it out on the Marantz 7013. So it's going to get the 120 watts from the Onkyo in the pure mode. It's going to get 125 watts from the Marantz in its pure mode. And then I'm going to test it out on a NAD. And then, let me try it again. And then I'm going to test it out on the NAD C388, and I hope I got those numbers right. That has 150 watts. So it's going to be pretty interesting, you know, to hear how this speaker sounds with the various manufacturers' amplification. The ribbon tweeters, like when I listened to the Wharfdale Evo, had its own unique sound. And then, for example, a speaker that I happen to enjoy when I've listened to it in the past, the Martin Logan 40i, has a ribbon tweeter, and I thought that the you know, the sound of that was nice and clear. So I'm gonna take a guess on this speaker. If this speaker, and this is just pure speculation at this point, if this ribbon tweeter is very clear sounding, if it's delicate sounding. If it really fans out the sound, I think it's either going to be the Marantz or the NAD that's going to amplifier that's going to be a good match for it. So that's really what I'm saying, because I think that based on the sound quality of the NAD and the Marantz, I think that's going to match well with this speaker. One of the two, I'm not quite sure, because I like the sound quality of both of them. It's different, and I'm still new with the NAD, so, but so far, actually no, I'm not going to spoil the review. The review is going to be coming up, so let's just leave it at that. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. And now I got to put the sock back on and open up the other one as well, so I could set it up. Pretty excited. Thanks for watching.